Hi, everyone. Welcome to Tuesdays with Terry Real Estate Talk. We're going to wait a couple minutes here and give anybody that wants to a chance to log in. And then tonight we're going to discuss down payments. First, welcome. Let's talk about some of the myths surrounding down payments. There are some beliefs that you have to have 20% down to be able to purchase a house. That's not true. There are a lot of different loan products out there, and depending on your credit score, you might be able to qualify for a no money down mortgage. You might be able to qualify for a VA, which is also no money down, if you have the appropriate number of credits or service. There's also a USDA loan that you usually find in rural areas, which you can use in Palm Beach County, and it's usually out west, Pahokee, Belglade, Canal Point, or up north in St. Lucie County, a little bit west. Then you have the FHA loan, which is 3.5% down. So to really find out how much down you need, of course, you need to talk to a loan professional, and there are a lot of calculators out there, and I have several that I can send you. All you need to do is send me a message on the Facebook site that you're on, or text me. Phone number and an email is on the screen right now, and tell me you're interested in a calculator to find out how much down you need, how much house you can afford, and all you do is you just plug in the numbers and then hit the button, and then it'll calculate for you. So when you get to a conventional loan, there it's really dependent on your credit score and your banking history, how much money you'll need down. So those are some of the myths. Also, condos, it's a little bit different. Some condo associations require a certain amount down to be able to purchase in their association. Sometimes it's 20% down, but a lot of times these aren't really expensive units. And a lot of times people are paying mostly cash for those units anyway. So let's get on with our talk about down payments. First of all, it all starts with a conversation. You really need to speak to somebody, whether it's a realtor, whether it's a loan professional, whether it's a credit counselor, to really find out what your situation is, because everybody's a little bit different. Everybody's situation's a little bit different. So there's not one size fits all. For instance, there are a lot of different loan products out there. You need to decide which one's best for your situation based on all the factors that come into play. Maybe you don't have a lot of money for a down payment, so you need to go after a loan that will accept less money down, or even a product that will help you with the down payment. And with that, the interest rate's a little bit higher. But you really need to sit down and talk to somebody um, to kind of get an idea where you are and where you need to go, because saving for a down payment's hard. It's not an easy thing to do. It's going to take a little bit of time if that's how you're going to get your down payment money together. It's one of the ways. I know it's hard. I tried to save money for my first house, and what I ended up doing was working more on my credit to build my credit score up to the point that I was able to qualify for a loan product that was no money down. So it was easier for me to work on my credit than it was to save money. One of the reasons is I had a hard time following a budget, but budgeting's hard, um, especially if there's not a lot of money to go around. So nowadays, with the technology that we have, there are a lot of budgeting apps to help you. These are some of the most popular budgeting apps for 2021. Pocket Guard, Mint. Mint's very popular. YNAB, Every Dollar, zero-based budgeting. That means you start you start with zero every month. Um, Good Budget, Honeydew, Personal Capital. Now, some of these charge a monthly fee. Some of them are free and also charge a monthly fee for their like pro version. Uh, but almost all of them have a free feature that you can use. And for some people, this is a lot easier because it plugs everything in, plugs your checking account in, your savings account. Um, so basically, it has all your banking information, and it really helps you with the budgeting, and also helps you see where you're spending your money and where you might be able to save money. Another popular app is Acorns. Acorns, people from up north will relate to this as the weather gets colder. The squirrels are all running around gathering up acorns and packing them away. That's kind of what this app is. What it does is it takes when you pay with your credit card or your debit card, it rounds the purchase up to the nearest dollar, and then takes that money and puts it in your account. Now you do get, I think you get some choices as to where that's going to go, but it's kind of like a mutual fund. If anybody's had a mutual fund, you pick certain areas that you want to invest in, and you don't actually pick the investments. Um, so that's, all these together, could help you at the end of the year, save three, four, $5,000. That might be all you need. Your bank or credit union may have a similar app. I know the bank that I use has I think they recently changed. They had like a virtual wallet, so you could actually uh, see graphically in charts where your money was going. And then there's the old-fashioned way um, of actually physically doing a budget with pencil and paper. And here's a copy of one that um, I got out of a book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And in one of the chapters in that book, it's for realtors. And when you're going through a change in the economy, then sometimes you need to tighten your belt. So you start out with three categories, A, B, and C. So it's color coded. You can use any colors that you wish. A is critical for your business, and you can adapt that to your household. Nice to have. You don't have to have it. And C, you really don't need it. That's just a luxury. So then you put all your items or categories on your spreadsheet or on a piece of graphing paper, and then you list everything. And when I did this exercise, I really saw that I whacked a lot of things off that I didn't need. Maybe $10 here, maybe $10 there. Uh, with some of the online apps, they will actually dig through your records and find charges for things you're paying for that maybe you don't even remember you're paying for. $1.99 a month, $2.99 a month. What was that for? Because sometimes what shows up on your statement, uh, it doesn't really relate to what it's for. So these can all help you save a little bit of money, but I understand that sometimes there's just no money left. In that situation, yeah, you need to get a little creative. I know a lot of people take part-time jobs. Maybe you have a hobby that you could earn some extra money with. There are lots of ways, especially online now, that you can earn a little extra income, and it doesn't have to be a lot. You just have to put it away. For several years, I officiated high school, uh, grade school, church league, softball, baseball, football, basketball, youth leagues. And sometimes I know those were always in the evening, especially men's leagues. Uh, and on the weekend. Now down here, most of the youth league football games are played on the weekend. So you might take a Saturday and spend all day officiating youth football games. And at the end of the day, you might have made $300-400. You take that money and you set it aside because a lot of times you don't get paid for that right away. Sometimes you get paid at the end of the season. Sometimes you get paid at the end of the month. So you're going to kind of get that money in a little lump sum. One thing I don't recommend you do is go out and get your real estate license. Uh, right now, there are currently more real estate agents in Palm Beach County than there are active listings, houses for sale. So that's kind of a tough road to hoe. Plus, that costs you money to get started. So, I know people in the past have driven a cab. Well, you don't really do that much anymore, but there's DoorDash, there's Uber, there's Lyft. There are a lot of ways to make some extra income. And on those things, especially with Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, you can kind of do that at your leisure. When you have free time, then you're on duty and you can accept rides. So sometimes that's uh, the best way to save some money. And then there's always the work on your credit and get your credit score up. And then maybe you can qualify for zero down payment. But keep in mind that down payment's only one of the costs that you're going to have to pay for when purchasing a house. There are also costs associated with inspections. You might want to get a roof inspection. You're certainly going to want to get a home inspection. You may want to get a termite inspection. And if you're living in an unincorporated area, you might need to get a water inspection. You might need to get a septic inspection. So also an appraisal. Sometimes you can fold the appraisal into the loan product, depending on who you're working with. So there are other incidental costs. And you also, so it's hard to actually list all of those because they're always changing and they're really tailored to your situation. However, there are also state, local, federal programs that can provide down payment assistance. How do you find those programs? Well, it takes a lot of legwork. However, I have an app that you're welcome to use. You will find the link for it uh, on this Facebook page. And after uh, this episode ends, this is live right now, but it'll be available to It'll always be available on the Facebook site to view. We'll put the link in, and also all the slides. Put all the slides in too. So give us a little bit of time after we finish to get everything up on the Facebook page. So when you access the link to the down payment assistance plan, and you just follow the prompts and you enter in some information, and you'll get an email. I won't get the email. You'll get the email of the programs that you may qualify for. There could be 3 programs. There could be 30 programs. I've seen it both ways. Out of those 30 programs, sometimes you can't qualify for all of them. You might qualify for 3 of the programs from a certain source, but you can only use one of the programs. So then you have to determine which one is best for you, and also determine, then you have to do a deeper dive. And you have to either have your realtor work with you and explain things to you, and or contact that program yourself and find out exactly if you qualify, because there, it's not just as easy as entering a little bit of information and then boom, you qualify for a program. That's basically a pre-qualification, which gets us into the difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval for a loan. A pre-qualification means, based on the information that you've told me, it seems as though we would be able to loan you X amount of money. A pre-approval is based on the information and paperwork you've submitted to us. It's highly likely that we're going to loan you the money. So I encourage everybody to take advantage of this link to this down payment assistance program website. In fact, it works anywhere. It's not just for Florida. I mean, if you have a relative or a friend in Oregon, they can also use the link. And then they just type in the state that they're in or the city that they're in, and they'll also get an email with the government funded programs that they could be eligible for in their state or community. Now, you couple this, these down payment programs, with some of the other ways of saving money, then all of a sudden it doesn't seem so difficult. If you qualify for one of these programs, well, there's your down payment money right there. And sometimes they also pay for some of the closing costs. But you still have to have some skin in the game. Unless you have an 800 credit score and you can get a, no money down loan, but you're still going to have to pay for some incidentals, inspections, things like that. So you're going to have some skin in the game. You're going to have to save a little bit of money. And sometimes you have to do it from a couple different sources. So I recommend everybody take advantage of this down payment assistance website, and I will post the link for it. Actually, if you found this, the link is at the top in the information where you clicked on to start the program. Now, as I said earlier in the beginning, is all starts with a conversation, and everybody's situation is unique. You're on you're on our Facebook real estate page. Towards the top of the page, you'll see a little section where you can schedule a no obligation consultation, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. We can go over some of the details. I'll be glad to answer questions if you submit them, and I can answer them personally. We usually try not to take any questions during the episode because we try to keep it at about a half hour because for one thing, people tend to lose interest after a half hour and the bandwidth. We want to keep it so that we can post it, we can send it. Eventually I'll have these up on our YouTube page. But they're always available on the Facebook page and also on my website. So I encourage everybody and anybody that has any questions, and it doesn't just have to be about down payments. That's what we're talking about tonight. But in some of our episodes, you can look through the episode guide. We've talked about everything to do with real estate, buying a house, selling a house. And if you want to do a deeper dive on any of those topics, sign up for a free consultation, and we'll do it on Zoom. We'll do it on Facebook Live, or we'll meet in person. I've had both my shots. I still wear a mask. I'm not wearing a mask now because I'm in the house, but I want you to keep in mind that it can get very discouraging when you're starting from scratch and you decide you want to buy a house. As I related earlier, I found it very difficult to save up the money for a down payment for a house. Things always seem to happen. I found it easier for me to build my credit up to a point where I could really qualify for a good loan product and also some down payment assistance. So I just want you to remember that when you're struggling to make this dream come true, oftentimes you'll get that little voice in your head that says, I can't do this. This isn't worth it. That's not true. Your little voice is lying to you. It is possible, and you can do it, and it is worthwhile. There are a lot of advantages to owning your own home. It doesn't have to be a house. It could be a townhouse. It could be a condo. But you get a sense of ownership. You get a sense of stability, and you also get some tax advantages. So once again, if you have any questions at all, my phone number is on this Facebook site. My email, you can send a direct message, Facebook, you can text me. Any questions you have, I'll be glad to answer them, and I'll be glad to go over your situation with you. No obligation. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you have a good night.